Okay. All right, we're going to call to order the Parks Committee meeting Wednesday, April 12th at 5:04. If we could stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have no citizens present. Is there anybody on Zoom? No, no one on Zoom. Okay, so no citizens comments. Approval of the minutes from the March 8th meeting. Does anybody have any comments about the minutes? Nope. Okay, so all in favor of the minutes approval?
Aye.
Oh, I
Aye.
okay, wait, we gotta back up. I forgot to say,
We need a motion. I make a motion.
Okay.
Now we
Marlene,
can say aye.
Thank you, Danette. Seconds the motion. We'll do this again. Sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Get it
about that.
right.
A little rusty. This once a month thing has got me like out of my groove here.
Yeah.
Item number 5, correspondence. Does anybody have any correspondence that we'd care to share? Oh, sure. Yeah. Is it that this is in everybody's packet? Yeah. So Kathy put together, just you'll find this in your packet. This is just kind of a historical list of when all of the park committee events have happened in the past. I know Marlene, you had kind of kept that on the agenda. We thought we would just kind of make a running list of this so everybody, we can see historically what's happened, and then we'll know better in the future where we're going to push things out to.
Yeah, and Heritage Weekend, that got turned into the community festival.
Yeah.
That's why there's no action on those.
Okay.
And it was canceled in 2020 due to COVID. So,
Okay. Awesome. Fair enough. Okay, moving to number 6, reports. Park supervisor. So Mike.
All right, so we worked on filling Easter eggs. We had 2,912 eggs filled. We also worked on prepping, cleaning up for the Easter extravaganza event. Having 150 trees delivered this week for the Earth Day tree giveaway. We met with the local contractors at Lisbon Oaks Park with any questions regarding the basketball court bid. I did have a meeting with Marlene, Tracy, and Danette to go over the East Garden and the John Wright Memorial area.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Mike. Brad, any updates on Adopt a Road?
Still reaching out to groups. I know, we had one group. Who said in May they were good about the one on Plainview Road. They were
Yeah,
gonna
May
be in
20th,
May
they're
20th.
picking that up, and I just got a phone call from drawing a blank. Oh, the Grace Hill Church.
Okay,
They're looking to do it actually this Sunday.
got it.
that May one, that's Agape Church.
No,
Plainview.
wow, this is about, there's a couple that have Plainview Road.
Oh,
different
there's,
section.
okay.
This is just about
We are going to be doing it in May 2, the 3rd Sunday.
third Sunday in May.
Yeah.
Both of your,
I'm not sure if we're doing, it all depends how many people we got. Definitely Plainview because it's in horrible shape.
oh,
All right, great. Thank you.
Was that, hang on real quick, the third Sunday?
That'd be May 21st.
Because I have the kids going out that weekend, the 20th,
Or,
the Bows is doing it.
that's fine,
Okay.
because we're going 164 to Hillside.
But I won't have any like vests, garbage bags,
Oh,
pickers.
okay, we got some vests and, you know, if you can give me some garbage bags before, that'd be awesome. If not, we'll bring some.
Okay.
Who's doing the 20th?
Bows, it's
Vows.
vocational
yeah,
women's outreach. I don't know the acronym for it.
They do Hillside East.
That, no, they do from
They do
Plainview
Plainview.
town line to
Maple.
Woodside. Maple.
No,
Yeah, so they go, yeah, so they go east. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, awesome. grants, Marlene, anything?
The ATC grant, I talked to him again, still nothing going on, not probably till June, but I'll keep on going and checking with them. And the only other grant is the invasive species, and I wasn't sure who was going to be doing that. Are we getting an engineer from the town doing that? I know Kathy said you were gonna do it. Buckthorn.
Yeah, I don't think it's open for next year.
Well, I've got the information. That's what I wanted to clarify.
I think it's open anymore this year.
Yeah, okay. But are you gonna be handling that? Then I don't have to worry about that anymore, or?
Not sure if I will or I'll assign it to someone.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so we'll revisit that when the grant comes back up then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, subcommittee reports. The Easter extravaganza wrap up.
We froze. Still, we had 253 kids, 215 adults and 3 dogs. And one little munchkin, where did Munchkin go? About less than half her size came through with no hat. So she wore my beanie and then she came back and gave it back to me, full of
How many
blonde hair.
adults?
Yeah, she was tiny,
How many adults, Marlene?
215. We got 82 items that we gave to the food pantry and $22.
Nice.
So she was very, very pleased with that, Darlene. And otherwise, I was very pleased with the turnout. I mean, we had enough police cadets and the auxiliary police there. We could have handled 1,000 people. So,
And the bunny, that young man that you got to be the bunny, he was a very nice kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
Aiden was very nice.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see as many people come through because it was bitterly cold.
Nasty,
Bitterly.
literally.
Yeah.
Of course.
What about 4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Paula, or
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I just want to add a caution. Now, obviously, Colleen is not here. Colleen and I took care of the eggs. Okay, had it not been for the weather, okay, which obviously limited the number of people,
Mhm.
we would have been overwhelmed. Because for about a half an hour to almost an hour, we could barely keep up
With just 2 people. to
with
get
just
that.
2 people.
At the
So
eggs.
that's just a caution for next year.
No, it's
There
good
were
to know.
two, there were 2
I'll make a
adults.
note.
I had put out eggs and. Yeah, and I don't, Mike, I don't know what you can do with those eggs because basically they're trash.
Yeah, we taped most of them.
I saw
The
that,
ones
which is
can't,
just like beyond,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's time
But-
consuming.
I don't know if it was because it was so cold, but as you put them down, half of them were breaking
Yeah.
open. Okay,
They
least
probably
half.
froze and cracked.
yeah.
Well, I-
But anyway, importantly, with 2 of us there,
Mm-hmm.
there was a young man that showed up later, who was from the Scouts.
Mhm.
He had come from the front of the trail. and he-
Dominic.
Okay, and it was nice, very helpful to have even that one young man, but just a future reference.
Good to
Okay.
know.
4 people, 3 or 4 people.
I would say at least 1 more adult and at least 2 scouts if
Yeah.
feasible. Because what we were doing is we're throwing the eggs out. This is about halfway through. People are coming at us and, we're getting colder by the minute, so. Telling
Well,
people you can only have 3 eggs or something. It was,
And maybe those plastic shells have a, 2-year limit because the
Right.
older they get,
Some of
the
them are-
worse
yeah,
they're gonna
they
get.
just
So
don't
maybe,
close.
yeah, maybe
properly.
we just kind of,
I'm
know.
trying to phase out the older ones, because it's just difficult, like we have the bins we put out for people to put the eggs in that don't want to take them home, they just want the candy.
Yeah.
And it takes forever to match them up, because they're not all the same size, so I'm trying to streamline it, so they're all the same size and style, so it's just grab 2 ends, put it together, just make it go a lot quicker.
yeah.
Mhm.
I know there's even ones that have like a little plastic thing that they stay together and they
Yeah.
come apart, but okay.
Yeah, there was, I know we're possibly beating this to death, but one of the bins that you'd supplied, Mike,
Mhm.
that the eggs seemed newer
Mhm.
and they didn't break open.
Yeah, the larger ones are the
Mhm.
ones I've been going to because it's tougher to find
Yeah.
smaller candy that goes in the smaller eggs.
Okay,
So with the larger style eggs, you can
Yeah.
put different styles of candy. in there.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to go to the bigger ones.
Kind of bend.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, just a comment for
I
next
have
year.
some on my phone.
Hopefully we'll have nicer weather.
Okay, we will make notes for next
But
year
yeah,
for
last
sure.
time I did
Got 'em
it.
down.
Yep. Community Festival, our next upcoming, so where you want to?
Okay, yeah, I've got to meet with Mike, before the festival. We still got time though. Because now we have the rock wall that we have to integrate someplace in there. And I did send you this, didn't I? Yeah, so you do get that. Because the rock wall is gonna take, 20 by 100 long, I called them.
Is that your layout?
Yeah. I thought I sent it to everybody. Did everybody get that?
No,
Okay, of course, my scanner just broke.
but we could, put it in the packet. Then. when
Yeah.
we're Talking.
Okay, I must have sent it to him and then my scanner broke. So I can't scan it and send it, but I will get it in next month's packet. Okay, here is, Polly is all the bills for all the different,
Oh, all of our, yeah, the Susie Sparkles and the horse.
hoof
lady and the-
beats, Heartland inflatables, fender bender.
When do they start playing?
Fender bender starts at 11:30. Just for fun, joke shop. Susie Sparkles. Somebody gave me a telephone number for her. And it turned out to be this guy who sounded like a WWW championship guy. Said, I am not Susie Sparkles. Adventure Rock. And so I'm gonna give you all of these.
So that's all our outlays.
Yeah, and I always, Mike usually gets me the checks and I pass them out the day of.
Okay, Yep.
So,
awesome, thank you. So just as a side note, Natasha's gonna update the website with the time that the band is starting and just make sure everything is
Yeah.
updated on the website. So we're gonna make sure that that's all.
and there will be something else for that too. Haven't gotten down that far.
Okay,
We are gonna have Victoria Brown helping us in the beer sales.
okay,
Victoria Brown, Doug Brown's wife.
is she an employee?
No, she is,
Does she have to be an
I think she's got a license. So,
employee? Okay,
well,
Is-
there
is that-
still will be one or either one of us there who have a license, so it'll
Okay.
still be fine. Because we have to have a little break, somebody that we can have a break to get through something.
How's the money gonna be handled for the sales? Sure.
I'll get to that. Festival music, Bill Peterson has agreed to start. He wants to know if he's gonna do this for nothing. He can start at 10 o'clock. He's a guitar player. He's very, very good. He was here 2 years ago. And he said that he will play until the band starts. So you want him to start at 10 o'clock? That was his question.
But we don't even start at 10, do we, Marlene?
Start at 11.
I mean,
We
we
started
started
at 11, so what do you think? He said, I'll come anytime and play while you're setting up.
When is again, sorry, when's the band supposed to?
11:30 to 3:30.
11:30. Well, does he want to play a set for from 11
just
to
plays.
11:30?
He just plays.
I don't want him to start at 10.
I don't.
Because that
Because
sets a
Bill-
precedent
yeah.
that we can't handle.
Bill Peterson, 10:30.
Is the band gonna take a break? Would he play while the band is taking a break, or are they gonna play straight through for that
They
whole
they
time?
They
do
play.
take breaks. It's in the contract.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna hang
No.
around for the whole
No,
day.
he
though.
will come
He
and
doesn't
play.
stay.
So he's just gonna, whatever, just the beginning music.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he'll play.
You know, if
Whatever he
he's there
wants,
by
huh?
10:45, if he plays for 45 minutes, I think that's nice.
Okay,
Sure.
Yeah,
You okay with that?
yeah, quarter to
10:45?
to 11:15-ish.
I mean, we're gonna all be running around doing our things. and
Yeah.
He's gonna be kind of
He's-
playing to nobody. So,
well,
I mean, it's nice of him to have background for us, but you know,
during the festival, we do need alternate people at posts. Like I say, we two, Paula and I were stuck there doing beer all day. And well, everybody else was busy, but I've got more help coming this time. So I just made a note. So now we have, Vicky with the beer too.
And who else is helping?
I'm still working on it.
Okay, because you're right, I do agree. I think to have a rover and let all of us get to the other
Mhm.
points, because we were busy last time with the horse rides. We didn't get down to do the other things either.
Mhm.
You didn't get to experience that, so. Yeah, extra pairs of hands would be nice, just to go and relieve, and then we all get a chance to go get something to drink and maybe grab something to eat too, because it's a long day.
It is a long day.
Yeah, and I think it should be adults only at the bouncy house.
Yeah, we got the Optimist Club.
Okay, because that's I did that one all
That's
the
coming
whole time
down here.
last year. That was my hazing to join the
Yeah.
group.
I have a question though, Marlene, question. You have the Optimus Junior too. What are they doing?
They're gonna be helping with they're older kids, they're not little kids.
Okay, I would say because I
They're
don't know
gonna be
that.
helping with the bouncy house and wherever anybody
How
else
old
needs
are
it.
they though? So they're.
They're high school.
Is that old enough to,
Oh,
or
sure
not?
it
I don't
is.
know.
There's gonna have to be an adult with them, I think,
Yeah,
because,
right.
and the only reason I say that is
agree.
there's always a group of older kids that want to get in with the little kids and the kids just go, the little ones go
Okay.
flying
I
and the big ones.
got
don't.
that.
So you
That
gotta,
Saw
you
it,
gotta,
so.
It's
you
down
know.
further in my pile.
Okay.
Yeah, I think as long as some of those optimist women or people, the adults are there always, all the
it's-
time, they can't acquiesce that to those juniors.
Yep.
I agree.
Money. Last year, we didn't have enough singles. We need $400 in singles, $100 in tens. Mike, you're gonna bring your money box?
Sure.
And do you have the cups that were left over? We bought a pack of beer cups.
I have, I believe, cups. I don't know if they're beer cups.
They were clear plastic cups. But some people won't drink out of a can. I didn't want to go buy some more when I knew we had leftovers. Let me know.
Yeah.
Are
Okay.
we gonna have that ATM machine or
No.
something again?
No,
Well, why not?
because that was brought over by who? That was,
I have no idea.
Because
I
not
wasn't in
everybody
charge of
brings
that.
cash, especially
If
younger
you're taking
families.
cash, yeah, I think you almost have.
Yeah,
the ATM machine came from a guy who drove down from up north someplace. And he did it as a favor to somebody.
is it in your notes somewhere?
I'd have to dig
Because
it
again,
out.
if people get there, they're gonna be expecting
have
us
to
to have
pay
a,
for
have a
an
reader
ATM.
for a debit or a credit
Let's start
card.
there.
Huh?
Can we find out from our bank, maybe if they can do something for us for that? We're gonna get temporary ATM in.
We'll do that.
Yeah, because they charge for that and this guy was free.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
Because,
Okay.
if we're not gonna have that, I think somewhere in the information, it should say cash only, so people
Yeah.
know, or if they read it, at least they
I-
know ahead of time, but. People show up with debit and credit
What about-
cards are
what
expecting to
about,
find an ATM.
The guy did tell me, he said it wasn't used that much.
Yeah, what about,
Well, I don't know.
No,
what about just a
I don't
square,
want to be handing out money
Oh.
to anybody.
square?
A square reader?
If
Yeah,
people
Do a
fix-
square reader on your phone?
I don't have a phone to do that and I don't know, could we look into that?
What do you think, Mike? What's your
I mean,
take
I have
on
the- I have the square,
paying
so
for
it's just
concessions?
a matter of-
I mean,
And you do have to pay for that. There is a surcharge for that.
I mean, I use Square for my
Yes.
business, but
Okay.
I do have, but I don't want to mix the two, you'd have to start up. a
Right.
different account and it would go into a
Mike, do you
specific-
think it
Well,
was a
the-
friend
the-
of Joe?
I mean,
it wasn't a friend of Joe, but I know he's the one that organized that. The guy was from Fond du Lac.
right.
Oh,
that's
Joe
where he got
Dees,
it
yeah.
from. So he's the one that, I have no idea what the guy's name was or anything. He's the one that took care of all that. So,
Do you want me to call Joe?
sure.
Okay, I'll
We can
call
ask-
Joe.
and
You
maybe
know,
that's something we
just
want to
hold on,
discuss,
yeah,
because to have an account, have like one of those
I've never
for any
finished.
other function that we've got.
But you guys were having all the fun. I don't remember.
Yeah, so
the
getting
last
it-
time. No.
Yeah, yeah, we did it when I worked over the summer.
Maybe I was there.
Okay, all right, yeah, then we'll work on that, okay.
Okay,
Yes.
we got the beer coming from Beer Capital. It'll be free again. Food is by the Optimist Club. And I talked to Nancy Tetzloff. I did ask her about baseball help for the baseball blow up. One of their coaches, who is an optimist, is a coach for the Sussex Cardinals, and she's gonna ask him if he would come and volunteer. And then I believe Colleen's relative,
It's her
son-in-law,
son-in-law.
they came and helped the kids with the baseball blow up.
Hmm.
They were there coaching. And it was really cool because the kids were just lined up and
Mhm.
he was very good. And I'll have to call Colleen too.
Her
Yeah,
son-in-law's name is
it's
Jake.
one of the
Jake,
inflatables. It's the air like blows a ball and holds it in the air and you swing at it and there's targets you hit.
Yeah.
It's a neat, it's a neat.
Oh,
one.
it is. It's
Yeah.
very neat. I did contact the auxiliary police, the town fire department, and the Wabash County Sheriff. They've all been contacted for permission. Captain Panis, Michelle Drager, Food Pantry Ladies ready for us. And the Citizens Academy is also ready for us. So we got that. Yeah, they're going to be having, it's gonna be like, if you buy a bratwurst, you get a bratwurst, a drink, and some kind of a snack. Something like that. They're gonna be like package deals. So, and exactly what. no. So, any other questions on festival? Doug Brom is working with Joe D and Joe Mamas as far as the car show goes. Everybody else, crafters, I think we got like over 20 crafters already.
Great.
And the Optimist Club is gonna, and this was Mike's idea, it will be paying us $40 to rent the
Mhm.
shelter.
Right.
And then they will be selling the food. So, and they'll be providing the food. Any other questions that I forgot?
I have one thing.
Yeah,
Mike, could you be kind enough to have a little covered area for those Citizens Academy people who are gonna be parking cars
yeah.
to be
at the
under?
top again.
Because it gets really hot and
Yeah, I
sunny.
think I had a tent up there last
Yeah,
year.
thank
with
you.
chairs.
Thank you again for doing that.
Mhm. And water for them
Well, I
too.
brought water from home for them.
Yeah,
Because, they're there early. So yeah, I can bring a cooler with water for them.
okay.
Yep.
Um,
Thank you, Mike.
Yep.
Oh,
Don't mention Easter.
knock on wood fast. I'm thinking this.
Yeah.
All right. We will move on to number 8, unfinished business. Discussion on Community Park East Garden rework. So Mike, you wanna?
All right,
Thoughts on that?
so I did have like I said, a meeting with Marlene, Danette and Tracy at the center garden there. So kind of the plan was that they're gonna remove any of the wanted plants that are in there and relocate them in the park. And then it's basically gonna pull out a few of the overgrown plants. Install cardboard, which we do need a lot more of.
Joe Osterman, I called Joe.
Mhm.
He is gathering. He said, how much do you need? I said 2 10x40 areas. He called me yesterday. He says, I'm getting there.
Okay.
And I told him to call you where it should be delivered or how to get it or what.
Okay. And then once the cardboard's down, then it's covering with the wood chips that I currently have at the park. And then just, yeah, getting that spread out and roughly estimated 8 hours between Jeff and myself to lay the cardboard, put the chips down, including getting everything cleaned up and removed that's unwanted.
So we could be there to help you too. Yeah, we can lay the cardboard and help you spread chips.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a last minute thing, just because
Well,
'tis the season for baseball and soccer and
If
it's
they
getting
have a
really
couple
busy
hours,
right
they
now.
can get on.
yeah,
Let's do it.
what you can do too, Mike, is just give me a call and I can call everybody and see who's got a couple hours when you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul's wife Karen would like some of the bulbs and she would be there to help us remove bulbs too. Crocuses and daffodils. There's some Siberian iris in there too. And she said she would like some to put up at the, by the community park entrance sign. She said she adopted that sign up there. So. Okay, yeah, just give me a call, Mike, when you're doing that.
And it probably won't be one consecutive,
No,
work on it all day. It's gonna be a couple hours here, a couple hours there.
okay.
All right. Discussion on what areas, for volunteers. So, obviously, we know we need it for Winter Fest and the cardboard sled races and the Easter extravaganza, the community festival. Once we move into these other pieces, Mike, especially where, it's park, but where you need volunteer help. Once we scope out a lot of these, if you want to like figure how many hours you can put into it and how many volunteer hours you would have available, I think, because it's hard to just say, oh, you want to come volunteer and not really have anything specific about it. So we're going to need just like a little bit more, like adopt a trail. What exactly does that mean for a volunteer? What are you, when you adopt a trail, what are your responsibilities? We can kind of make it a little bit more specific. Because really, we had sort of hoped during the Easter extravaganza to have to be able to talk to a lot of people that were there to see if we could get people more interested in volunteering. Kathy had made us a QR code where you could scan and get right to the volunteer page on the website, but clearly that kind of worked against us. So I think when we get to the community festival, we have an actual table, like a volunteer table, and have somebody, hopefully we can maybe rotate or somebody to sit at it and be able to talk a little bit about some volunteer activities. We can get people in the park and just try to kind of expand the group a little bit. Because I know everybody here really steps up and does a lot of the work, but if we had a bigger pool of people, maybe we could even add an event or just get a little bit more help and not stretch everybody so thin. I know Marlene, you'd love a little extra help too, if we could find it.
Yeah, and we do pretty good, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're getting a little extra. Well, what I just wanted to say to you, were talking about it, the Optimist Club, it's going to be right on the end where the bouncy houses and stuff are.
Okay.
And the juniors are going to be working out of that area. So there'll always be adults with the other children. And I think last year I asked somebody, hey, could you help out here? And guy was very happy to do so. Hi, Paul. So.
Mainly just mulch. And we keep it simple just for the fact that we don't have the staff to have these elaborate gardens everywhere. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, there's small stuff around like the signs and stuff, but it's keep it very simple.
Right.
Because most of the other parks are more sports. So it's not a lot of walkers through there. Just like.
So we can fill in that as we kind of move along. Fill the stuff in, and then we'll as we get closer to the festival too, we'll come up with some table handout.
There
kind of
is
thing.
a area that the Historical Society uses under a shelter right by the band. And you could have a corner, a table there.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay.
So we'll do that.
All right. Number 9, moving on to new business, discussion and necessary action on request from Ed Nelson to recommend the village board a commitment to preserve the community park in its current form.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This has been something that has been discussed at various park board meetings, I would say over the last year to 2 years. And specifically, the park resolution or the resolution itself. It would be in your packet under request for consideration. It says Parks Committee. It's dated April 12th, 2023. And you'll see scope of work. Then in the backside is where it's dated February 27th. And
February 27th.
it says Community Park Resolution Recommendation, background on Community Park, and then the resolution itself is at the bottom. Is
We might be missing a page.
Yep, the only one I have is the February 27th one.
Yeah, me as well.
Okay, well, I tell you what, this is just, this came off, the park website that I just downloaded a few days ago. And in terms of the resolution, states as follows, and input from Danette and Marlene, thank you. Says, be it resolved that members of the park committee do hereby recommend and request that given the unique quality and conception for community park, i.e. prairie, woodlands, wetlands, park river sites, and recreational sites, be maintained and preserved under its current format and planned for now and in the future. Community park is unique among our other parks. Mike just was in answering a question. Our other parks are predominantly grass, recreational, a few trees, usually no flower beds, or if there's flowers around the park signs that was just mentioned by Mike. Thank you. Community park is unique. Of course, it's our largest park, around approximately 100, I believe it's 123 to 124 acres. The park itself was designed as a biodiverse park, eco park, and also recreation. The resolution does not prohibit us putting in sometime in the future, of course, our dream flush toilets. Nor does it prohibit the ability for when funds become available, which could of course be anytime, a park recreational center, which has also been discussed. From time to time over the last, again, 2 to 5 years. So having said that, because I know, time is of the essence, so to speak, are there any questions? Again, I don't want to use the phrase biodiversity loosely, but community park really in the area, as the area grows, which it is growing very rapidly, Lake 5, Plainview, et cetera. Now, there are, of course, not quarries, sand and gravel pits to the north of Community Park, which will eventually be developed. Long-range plan could be in the next 50 years. That's Genesee Aggregates property. But as I look at our other parks, as I look at our region and how it's developing, the woodlands, prairie areas, the biodiversity in both, especially in the prairies, even though they're not, I know we had this discussion over the last few weeks, they're not necessarily top-notch prairies, but they're still prairies, they're not just grass. Okay, so when I'm long gone, when the administration here has changed, I would just, the reason for this resolution is to basically protect Community Park, certain areas of it that are prairie, that they not be paved, they not become parking lots, and they not, whether soccer, pickleball, other things that are, obviously growing in popularity. I remember Mike made a comment that we're almost maxed out in terms of you receiving requests for baseball and other, recreations, because we only have so many parks and we only have so many acres. Are there any questions from anyone on the committee in terms of the resolution? And I'm sorry that it didn't, because I'm usually the one that doesn't have it.
Do you have this sheet though? Because this seems to have covered what you
Yes,
talked about.
it should be dated February 27th, 2023.
Mhm.
Yes,
So this is entirety, right? here.
yes.
And what
And,
are the other papers that you thought we should have, or
oh, no,
no, this is it
just
then?
this is
So we're
it.
not missing anything.
Yeah,
Okay.
because this gives you a quick history of the park
Mhm,
and the resolution itself. That's at the bottom, of course.
mhm.
All right. So. Any questions?
Comment, and that's, I'm behind it 100%, as I see the development of the common village of Lisbon growing the way it is, to keep the green space and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, I too am in favor of as much green space as possible and the parks. I'm just wondering if we really want to tie the hands of future boards, or we want to make this a recommendation, like say that it should be maintained as instead of it will be maintained as. 'Cause I don't know if future boards could change it or what the case may be. Yes,
The future boards could change it, but this was the charge of laying out the park in the very beginning. And I think to honor that initial charge of description of what they wanted to do when they developed the park should be honored. Right now, in the future, let them cross that road when they come to it.
I just want to add one thing. We did have an incident one time where a former chairperson did bring developers up to the park and said, look at all this beautiful open land. And I was there and I heard it and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's a nature park.
yeah.
It
No, I
is a
agree.
gem in the middle of
Yeah.
subdivisions now. You're not going to find that anywhere. And it should be preserved. And I really agree with Ed with his verbiage. It should be preserved. Absolutely.
I agree. I think we should make it difficult for a change to be made from this.
No,
You know,
that is
I-
why,
yeah,
that's why I
right.
mentioned that it does not prohibit eventually having flush toilets or eventually having, a building,
Right.
a recreational building on site, because it I don't want to prohibit some development, but the general purpose, thank you, Paul, of the park was to be a nature park. And I know we have, through the county, through the state, we have an environmental corridor that runs just north of Community Park, i.e. the Bark River. And for some of us, we have conservancy areas that are in back of us, not very well policed, realistically, because they're not. So I would hope the word preserved is very, very definite in the request, as as it's embedded in the resolution for a reason. I'm trying not, Paula, I appreciate, that's a very good comment. I'm trying not to, or as I look forward long after I'm gone. I would just hope that people would realize what's there and say, hey, somebody preserve it, somebody set this land aside or part of this park aside,
Mhm.
that it wouldn't be developed.
Yeah, well, I agree. And I also think most people moved out here because of the green space, because it's here. And I don't, see a lot of people wanting to change that at
Yeah,
all.
no, and-
I hope not anyway.
Yeah, and as we both know, as we look at the developments that are occurring, especially right off of Silver Spring, west of 164, just west of Coles, that newest subdivision on what was Oakwood, I believe, Farm. Or Oak, it's right near Osblick,
Mhm.
off of, I'm sorry, Silver Spring, VV. And,
Oh, right behind Coles.
right behind Coles.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you drive in there and you look at that subdivision, that's indicative of high density housing, and
well, that's Sussex too. That's not
yeah,
us.
and
Yeah,
but it's so that subdivision is realistic, a little less than 5 to 10 minutes from Community Park. So
Yeah.
increasingly, as the subdivisions, the planning commission has approved over the last 2 to 5 years, as though, and the trails that lead to that park, Community Park is going to be definitely used. It already is. It's people that live in the area know where Community Park is.
Mhm.
I see it, I see people walking on the trail all the time
Yeah.
in all kinds of weather. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, I put this up as a motion. Again, does anyone have any comments, criticisms, positives in regards to this community park resolution?
Is this a motion you're putting out now?
Yes, because I think, I don't know, Paul, I think time is of the essence. We have been talking about this for quite some time. And I will, if it's appropriate, present a quick brief summation to the full board, which will meet this evening, I assume, will not. You're shaking your head.
No.
Okay, well,
Goes to the next,
excuse me.
goes to the next board.
Okay, all right.
Well, I'd like to say thank you, Ed, for this. I'm in agreement with it. And does everyone feel like it has enough teeth in it to give us the assurance that it will be preserved as it's so noted?
I would hope so.
Okay.
I'm sure honestly that an attorney could turn it upside down and rip it apart, which is something I always have in the back of my mind, but I'm not a lawyer.
Good skeleton work.
No.
And, I just wanted to add as far as the development that's ending on Lake 5 and Plainview, the Twin Pine is gonna come all the way down to that stop sign and right across the street. That's another big Meisner family farm.
Yes.
That's soon to be
Developed.
developed, where you have another couple of hundred acres that they're already kind of likely, nothing official,
Mhm.
but in discussion, pretty close to Jerry Meisner there. That's the future of this farm. And bring it all the way down to Plainview also.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a lot of people in the near future in that little intersection.
Yeah, it's no longer a country intersection, Plainview and Lake.
Yep.
Getting out of
Lake
Lake
Five
Oakland,
Road.
we gotta wait there.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
well, why don't, does somebody want to make a motion then on Ed's recommendation?
Motion and second.
Oh, we already did? Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So all in favor?
I,
hi,
Any opposed? Okay. Discussion and use of all money left in festival fund for the rejuvenation of the John Grayton Waterfall feature following the community festival, Marlene.
okay, we met Mike, Danette, Tracy and me. Met, and I believe my scanner worked and y'all got this. Okay, you got that too? This is a rough drawing. Did you get? It was sent to Lisbon Park Committee. If they got it, you get it. Anyways, what we did was we did a walk up there with Mike. Mike gave his 100% input on what has to be done, what has to be fixed. The best things were to put them in everything else. Before that, we did meet with Lori Starr from Johnson Nursery, which Mike had recommended. Awesome lady. She is willing to come out and she charges $150 an hour. She will make up a drawing. Where'd she go? On this fancy wancy paper, which I have no idea how to use, or I could have done it. And she will charge us that to make a drawing up that we can bring before the board. We have a amount of approximately $1,500 that we could use to do this. And I did tell her that we are using, the festival is in June, but she said she wants to meet with us before so she can get this going. Now, if for some reason this falls through, the $150 will, and I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more, will be picked up by myself and Anna Grayton. And if this all goes through, then it'll come out of the festival funds. Okay, so it is covered. We will have the plan in hand. And then we'll go from there. Nobody knows what happens from one day to the next. Yes,
What are some of the things that would prevent that from coming back?
I don't know at this time, but I had to reassure her that she's coming out to do the work, that she would get paid. And Anna said she'd pick up half and I said I'd pick up half.
If it doesn't, I would help you too.
Yeah.
Because I think something needs to be done and.
Oh, it's-
Yeah.
Desperately needs to be done. The one thing that I'd like to put out that Mike had pointed out is it's called number 1 is where the power box and the pump is on the top. Mike had said it was covered by a log. Well, there is no log there anymore. We need to see if we can get somebody to build a childproof cover for that area. It's about 3 by 3. And I don't know, do you know anybody from the town who could do that?
What do you want it made out of?
Hmm?
What do you want it made out of?
Wood?
It'd be weatherproof, wouldn't it?
Mike, what do you think? Mike wanted to go and get one of those that looks like a rock. You know, where you put
Yeah,
stuff
sure.
underneath?
Fake rocks.
Yeah, but he couldn't find anything big enough to
Okay.
cover that area. And right now that pump is wide open to kids jumping on it, throwing rocks on it or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Can we get wood?
I told him it has to withstand.
Hmm.
It's built hard. Cedar on top. Something, so it's a little bit.
Is that something we can,
What are-
That would be part of the total package then. of that
Well,
$5,500.
yeah, we would pay Johnson Nursery and then if there's extra,
Budget.
yeah.
How we're gonna develop it.
I'm sorry, Kathy, I couldn't hear you. Oh, okay.
Okay, so does somebody want to make a motion then on?
I just wanted to go over one more thing here
Yeah.
before, because we're running out of
Yeah.
time. I went over the budget and I believe everybody got that. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. If everything works out, there's question marks, of course. We should be having about $2,500 left out of the festival funds. Which should be more than enough, and I'm hoping more than enough to cover Johnson Nursery. And also, I'll put that out there later for future events. Lori Starr from Johnson Nursery said she could meet Tuesday, the 25th at 9:30. If that would be okay with everybody in the committee, whoever wanted to meet up there with her. Yeah. Usually there isn't. That's why we had 3.
April 25th.
April,
I'm out of town that day.
okay.
And that's 9:30 in the morning, up at
9
the John Grayton.
John Grayton,
Garden.
I will call her and tell her, I put it on her books, because she said she's filling up rapidly. And it was easier to take it off and put it back on.
So is anybody else coming? Because you got 2. You can have another one.
If I'm able.
Yeah, I don't know,
I mean,
because I don't have my
I
cat.
can
I need
well,
to have you
sure, but-
show up and 5 people show up and 2 people have to leave.
Well, it's easy,
Yeah.
if that's the case, because I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody
Oh,
call
that's
me,
right.
somebody call me,
You know,
Kelly, you working? Okay, just call me.
so, okay, so there should be no more than how many of us there? 3, okay.
Yeah, that's what I've been keeping it at.
So can we just coordinate with you, Marley, to make sure
coordinate
there's
with me.
only 3
Or
and,
if you see
Then
3
Lori.
and you become 4,
I'll
you
go
just turn
home.
around and
I'll just go
become
home.
invisible.
okay,
Um,
sure.
Question,
Be
my
invisible.
quick question, in terms of the cover for the pump. The pump is the original pump, correct?
No, it's really not the pump. The pump is at the bottom.
Okay, I'm
Water
sorry.
flow.
Yeah.
So this is the outlet where the pump pumps it to recirculate it
Mhm.
back to where it comes down the waterfall. So it's a square box, like Marlene said, 3 foot by 3 foot, maybe sticks out of the ground a foot. And then it's filled with rocks and they just water bubbles out, goes down the waterfall, back into the crock, the pump that's in there, now pumps it back up.
Yeah, duh, yeah. Is it the original pump, I assume?
No.
It is not.
No.
Okay,
Because the one that's on there is probably close to its last life. It tends to, and which will be better now, it always filled up with, because those 2 cedars that were there that I removed. A lot of the debris from those would get in the stream, fall down into the pump, and sucks them up and then plugs it up.
clogs it. Sure.
Completely. Or almost.
I know.
Yeah,
So
let's move on.
having less of that stuff will definitely help the longevity of the pump. but-
Yeah. So, yes.
Okay, thanks.
That's dependent, we're using that money, assuming that the village is going to pay for the festival next year. In part of its budget. Is that right?
The festival is not scheduled for next year. There's no schedule for it at this time.
But yes, the village will pay for the festival next year.
And we'll go
Pick
back
up
for
the cost.
costs.
Yes.
Okay. So I just didn't want to put the money towards something and then
Yep.
find out that the room is
Yeah.
not.
Yep.
Yeah, the money
Yeah.
that is left from this year goes into the general fund. If there's any left, I was told that it would be earmarked. And I said, hey, we've got this that needs to be done. It is desperately in need of help. Let's use it.
So we're,
Okay, we got.
yeah, we're just need to move along. So no, because we need somebody to have a specific motion of the not to exceed the $1,500.
I make a motion that we contact Johnson Nursery. I would like to say if it does exceed $1,500, that we bring it back to the committee to see once what exactly it would be. Once we get her bid, we will know.
How do we do that?
That's, then why don't we
Just make
table
it,
this until?
No, we'll make it 2,000. Can we make it 2,000? Can we
can make
change
it
the
whatever you want.
1,500?
what do
You can
we,
make it whatever you want.
Okay,
Just that
let's,
Until you actually have the exact amount,
right,
you might want to table it until you have the exact. amount
that's
that you're
another
gonna
month
put to-
again.
That's May.
Yeah, that's another month again. So
Well,
let's,
But,
well,
okay, but if we meet with her on April 25th,
Yep.
she should be able to put something together perhaps
by May,
before our
There
May
you go.
meeting,
okay.
which would be May 9th, the
And then
second
we-
Wednesday.
Then we would have the exact,
yep, let's
And
do
you-
that.
let's do it for the May one. That's a good
So
idea.
table to May. So you need a motion.
Correct.
Can
Yeah.
someone make a motion to table this, please?
I make a motion to table it until the May meeting,
Okay,
but that
Second.
we,
second, Ed, and then all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we're gonna move on to to letter C, discussion and necessary action on the donation of 12.35 acres for Lindale Farms. So I think you've all seen this part of this. There's a section of land over there that we're trying to get some more information. I think we probably want to table this one too, actually, to get more information
Yeah.
from the guy, because he said, we sent him a set of questions and he's like, well, I've got to go back to the HOA. Just know that it's out there. So we're going to need to decide as a committee if we want to bring another park into our system. So we'll have more information on it in the May meeting. We'll talk about it then.
can I give a real fast history?
Yes,
They
please.
had approached us years ago. John Greiten and I went out there. It was a dump that they wanted to give away to somebody else to do the work. It would be another big, huge, unless they really cleaned it up. But it is a dead trees and willow trees, and it's something like Plainview Parkway, where we inherited that, and all it is work and cutting.
Yeah, well,
But then that's just a history. Okay,
Okay.
Take it off tax roll.
yeah. True.
Yeah. Paula, do you need a motion?
Yes, we do. please, Ed.
Okay, under new business, move to table item C.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, and last but not least, the discussion and necessary action to review bids for the Lisbon Oaks basketball court and make our recommendations to the village board.
All right, so you have in front of you a bid tabulation. We went out to bid. We had two businesses bid on the project. We're ready to move forward on it. The lowest bid was Munson at $61,450. I asked for your approval.
When you want to make a motion on that?
I make a motion and we make the approval for Munson
For 61,000.
for 61,450.
I will second that.
Okay, thank you, Ed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, guys have it.
May I add just a quick caveat? It is a basketball court.
Yes,
Realize that.
yes.
Growing in popularity is pickleball. And I'm wondering how adaptable pickleball would be on that basketball court going forward. No, Kathy?
No, and the reason is, we had $40,000 donated by a
Family.
family
Mhm.
because for their daughter.
Right.
That was a basketball player. This wasn't supposed to be a multi-use.
Right.
They donated $40,000 to this project. With the understanding it was gonna be a basketball court.
Mhm.
They did he worked with Mike to get the right fencing, the right goals.
Right.
To make it look primo, so
Mhm.
I would say for this project, no, in the future, absolutely, we could do something.
Okay.
Yeah, we could put that on. I think that's something to discuss for sure, Ed. I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of, the what's popular, what's not. It's hard to keep up. And
Yeah,
it's
I-
especially hard for parks to keep up. Because we don't operate in that mega billion-dollar atmosphere that pro sports
But
do.
one more thing.
you know.
Sorry to be so blunt.
No, no, no,
I
no.
know
I'd rather
they-
have
I think
bluntness
They
than,
would be so devastated if we started lining it for something totally different.
Yeah.
no.
I have something for the other agenda.
Okay, other agenda item, yes. Wendy?
Future
ma'am.
agenda. As we were at the community park, I noticed in front of the Hilltop Shelter, there is that big ugly electrical box. And I was after John Greighton to do something about it. That never happened. I talked to Brian Osterman. Is it Osterman? No, Brian Holhaven. There you go. And he said you can build any kind of a thing you want around it, as long as it has doors that open. Or you can plant trees around it. They have to be 3 foot out. So the doors can open so you can get access to it. Depending on how much money is left, and we'll know more after we get the bid.
Okay, we'll put that on the agenda for next.
Put on the agenda to maybe add it to Johnson Nursery and see once what Mike thinks. I know some arborvitae the deer like, I've got some at my house, they don't even go near. But,
Okay.
or what Mike thinks would be the best thing.
We'll put it
to
on
do.
the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Never mind.
can someone make a motion for adjournment?
So move.
So
Okay.
moved.
Second, Marlene, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 6 o'clock, we did it. 6 o'clock. Woo,
Oh, we got a minute left.
according to this, we're at 6. Woo.